course of action, and what possible repercussions would employees face who choose not to return?
You know, this is a very difficult time for everyone. And I know that all of us that were called to education constantly think about our students. And so there are so many challenges during this pandemic. But one of the items that I will be asking of all of our staff, and actually I'd like us to think about the fact that currently we have almost 11,000 employees, and around 4,000 or so of those employees are currently safely reporting to our campuses to ensure that all of our facilities are safe for everyone. We have many families who also are expecting us to provide the service that we promised we would provide for their students. I recognize this is a sacrifice for everyone. And so what we're asking and expecting is that we will work together rather than pinning each other against each other so that we can make the best decisions possible. So for teachers and staff who are able to return, we are asking that they return. We are doing this in a safe manner using all of the protocols, including screening and temperature checks of every single individual before they enter our campuses. We have already been practicing with folks on our campuses because of these employees who are reporting currently, and we have not seen an outbreak. That being said, if an outbreak should occur, we would immediately return to 100% remote wherever that would make the most sense. Again, safety and health is always the priority.
Thank you. Next question comes from Melanie Torrey with CBS Austin. Last week, a group of parents and teachers gathered to publicly express concern that they don't know enough about campus COVID-19 protocols to feel comfortable with kids returning to the classroom. Why are you certain AISD phase-in plan is safe?
So I think part of the reason that we know that our plan is safe is we've been able to learn from surrounding school districts who already have opened, including to in-person instruction, and they've done so in a safe manner. We have all of those practices in place, and frankly, in some instances, we have even more screening in place than some of our surrounding areas. And so with that, it is again important to recognize that this is about providing our parents, our taxpayers, our users to be able to choose that now that it is safe at certain levels for us to open our campuses to receive their students. I do want to reiterate every single person that steps onto our facilities must be screened through 5 questions and has their temperature taken every single day before they arrive on a campus or at a facility. In addition, if they go to another facility, you don't have to be concerned because we're able to use our app, which demonstrates that that individual has already had all of that screening for the day. So it's very easy for us to do contact tracing and to continue to monitor the safety of all of our employees and our students.
Thank you. Same question from Telemundo in Spanish. La semana pasada, un grupo de padres y maestros se reunió para expresar públicamente su preocupación porque no saben lo suficiente sobre los protocolos de COVID-19 del campus para sentirse cómodos como los niños que regresan a la aula. ¿Por qué está seguro de que el plan de incorporación de AISD es seguro?
Nos hemos podido enseñar de los distritos que están alrededor de Austin ISD. Además, tenemos 5 preguntas que cada día, cada persona y alumno es necesario que tengamos las respuestas y tomamos la temperatura de cada persona antes de que entran a una escuela o un edificio del distrito.
Thank you. Gracias. Next, KXAN. We have received a report of a lawsuit filed against the district's reopening plans. Is this true? And if so, does the district have any response to this?
I currently am not aware of such a lawsuit. And of course, as most folks would know, we would be referring that to our legal team for information with regard to that.
Thank you. Next question. Claire McInerney with KUT. How are you gathering a teacher's time on October 5th? Are some teachers focused completely on this in-person students and other teachers doing exclusively virtual learning? Or is one teacher doing both?
With regard to our instructional setting, our primary response is to stay student-centered. It is particularly important and why we're only starting out again with 25% of in-person students. It is very vital that we recognize that small number so that we will be able to ask teachers to work through our initial plans and, if necessary, make adjustments. However, staying student-centered, we are planning to have teachers be able to continue doing their remote instruction with students in a classroom. And just as they have asynchronous work for students who are at home, that would allow them to provide some direct instruction, the same lesson they provided virtually to students at home, to students in a classroom setting. However, I think it is vitally important, as do our campus principals, that teachers be able to make those adjustments, working with their campus leaders to ensure that we are creating the best possible environment for our students and working as hard as we can to unburden this heavy load that is in and on our teachers.
Thank you. Next question. From Eric Ensmores with the Austin Chronicle. What are the COVID positivity rates or decision triggers which would cause AISD to slow down the phasing of students or return to entirely virtual learning?
So it would be very important, first and foremost, to continue to follow the advice of our Austin public health experts. However, I would like to point out that most of those experts have indicated that there should be a collection of 4 data points when looking towards making decisions. Positivity rate is only one of those 4 data points. The others include recent cases, recent hospitalizations, admissions, ICUs, and admissions, and one more, which is the number of individuals on ventilators. So the collection of all of that data is what informs our Austin public health experts. We will continue to only move forward in the most safe manner and utilize the guidance of those who are trained to make those recommendations to us.
Thank you. The last question comes from Melissa Tabota with the Austin American-Statesman. How many requests for medical waivers have been submitted by teachers, staff, members to remain remote, and how many have been approved or denied?
So I don't have the exact numbers. Yesterday when I asked, we did have an overall employee request of about 780. Of those, I think approximately a third had been approved. I don't have the breakdown currently of those requests through teachers and non-teachers, but we'll be happy to work at getting that information for Melissa.
Thank you. And that concludes today's press conference. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.